Hi guys, welcome to our lesson on complex fractions. And a complex fraction is a fraction or fractions within a fraction. So if I have a fraction on top divided by a fraction on bottom, that's a complex fraction. But also something like these, where you have two fractions being added or subtracted together, that is also complex fractions. So complex fractions are very complex and they have lots of stuff going on. So here are the steps that we are going to be going through to simplify. So first of all, we are going to factor all the denominators. So what I mean by that is that we are going to, if we can factor anything, we are. Also, we're going to focus on each of the fractions and go from there. So for each fraction, we're going to multiply by the LCD over 1. So we're going to talk about that in a second. And then finally, number 3, we're going to simplify if we can. Okay, so let's see how this works. So the first thing, we are going to find the LCD and multiply by everything. So when I'm talking about the LCD, I'm looking at the 5, the X, and the 7. So what is the LCD of everything? Okay, let's see. So we have a 5 and a 7 and an X that we need to count for. So our LCD is 35X. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply each fraction by the LCD over 1. So basically what I'm doing is I'm multiplying both the top and the bottom by 35x. So notice this equals 1. So I'm not changing the value of it. I'm just getting rid of the yucky fractions. Okay, so I've written out the top one. So we're going to multiply the LCD by these top ones. So remember, when we multiply, we're going to distribute this. And so what we're going to do is do 35x times 3/5 and 35x times 2x. So let's see what happens here. 5 goes into 35 7 times, and so I'm left with a 5 times 3x, so 15x. Sorry, I wrote down a 5, 7. So 7 times 3 is 21, so 21x. And then over here, the x's are going to cancel out, and that's it. So I have 35 times 2 is 70. So this is going to be on top of our fraction. And so let's do the same thing on the bottom of the fraction. So I have 4 over x plus 8 over 7, and I'm going to again multiply that by our LCD. So I'll go ahead and do it to both of them. And if you'll notice, these cancel out, and I'm left with 35 times 4, which is 140. And then over here, 7 goes into 35 5 times. And so I have 5 times 8 times x is 40x. So this is going to be on our bottom. From here, it's a matter of cleaning it up, because I have this fraction that looks like this. And I'm just going to clean it up. So I notice that I can take a 3 out of both of those. Sorry, you can take a 7 out of both of those. And I'm left with 3x plus 10. Okay, down here, it looks like I can take a 20 out. And so I'm going to switch these around. So 20 goes into 40x 2x times, and then 20 goes into 140 7 times. So this is as far as we can take it. If we had simplified this some more, or if like these would cancel, we would take it a step further. But other than that, that is the process. Okay, let's go to the next one. So think about this, be careful, because this is like the same thing over 1. So I'm looking at our LCD, and our LCD is x. So I'm going to multiply both the top and the bottom by x. So x over x. So On the top, I have, let's get rid of this now. So I have x times x, which is x squared. And then on the bottom, I'm going to multiply both of these by x. So what happens is these cancel out, and I get 3. These cancel out, and I get 1. So this is going to end up really nicely x squared over 4. Okay, so the next one is very similar to the one that we just did. So see if you can do this one. So find the LCD and take it away. Okay, let me kind of show my steps here. So we are multiplying both the top and the bottom by 3x. So on top, nothing canceled out, and I was left with 27x. And on bottom, these canceled out, so I was left with 27. That's where that's coming from. And then all of this canceled out, so 27 plus 2. Oops, and 27 plus 2 is not 33. It is 29. And this is our final answer. Okay. So let's talk about the LCD here. So we've got an x plus 1, an x plus 1, and an x plus 2. So we just need to be sure that we represent the x plus 1. It's just represented one time in each place, and then x plus 2. Okay, so this is our LCD. So we're going to multiply everything through by x plus 1 times x plus 2 on top, and x plus 1 times x plus 2 on bottom. So I'm going to focus on this, then I'll focus on that. See if you can do each section by yourself. Okay, let's kind of talk about the first steps. So when I looked at the top, I saw that these canceled out, and I was left with 3x times x plus 2. So that's where I'm getting that top. On the bottom, if I'm going to multiply each term by this, here the x plus 1 canceled out, and I was left with 4 times x plus 2. And here the x plus 2 canceled out, and I ended up with 8 times x plus 1. So from here, again, we're just going to kind of clean it up. So I have 3x squared, and then plus 6x. I'm not sure. We may want to keep it in this form, or we may want to keep it in this form. So let's see what happens down here. So I have a 4x plus 8 plus 8x plus 8. So I have 12x plus 8 on bottom. Sorry, 12x plus 16. I can't add 8 plus 8. So I have 12x plus 16. And I can take a 4 out of both of these, so let's see what happens. So I have 3x plus 4, and then I'm going to go back to my other form, x plus 2. And I'm just kind of looking to see if I can cancel anything, and I can't. So you can put it in this form. You can put it in this form. It doesn't matter. Just kind of question on if you can simplify it. You might want to break it down a little bit. And that's how you simplify